Good morning. I'm Caleb Langer with Mercedes Textiles, and I'm here with Deputy Chief Jason Goodwin of the Baltimore City Fire Department.
Good morning.
So, Chief, we're here to talk a little bit about your hose specs here on your new rig here in the Seagrave booth. So, just wanted to run through the main hose bed here, and you guys have spent a lot of time dialing this in, going through some different iterations, and certainly there's not many places that are running more fire duty these days than Baltimore City around here.
Right.
So certainly you have a lot of time to apply it on the street. And so I just kind of want to run through. You have your 3-inch Kraken here.
Correct.
And if you want to.
Sure. We run 400 feet of 3-inch with the single stacks, males out. This is mostly used for hooking up to standpipe systems, or if we need to pump into like a ladder pipe situation, we run males out. That way it's quickest to get it right to the fire ground.
Absolutely. And you have the RAM monitor in the rear compartment that you also run.
That's correct. Yep. And that's that way it's more of an attack mode than a supply mode is what we're utilizing the 3-inch for.
Absolutely. So a good utility hose, very versatile in that 500 GPM range.
That's right. And then the 400 feet gets us pretty much to any close to the pumper easily with that.
Absolutely. Excellent. And so you've been running the 4-inch Megaflow for a long time, and more recently you've gone to split beds here.
That's correct. We started splitting the beds so that we could exercise the hose a little bit more. In Baltimore City, we don't necessarily have super long leads, so by splitting the bed you can lead off of each side periodically, back and forth to exercise all the hose. The other advantage to that is we run something called a heavy water hookup now, and you can lead dual 4 inches in as long as you're within that 500-foot range of the hydrant.
Absolutely. So you lay out with the TFT Oasis hydrant valve there.
That's right.
And that's standard procedure to have an engine pumping that?
Yes. Yep. Anytime that's on, we always hook up. It may not necessarily go into pump mode, but they're always hooked up, ready to go.
Yeah, you have the option.
Yep.
Okay. And then that second line, if you do end up dropping dual lines, then that's an additional add-on there.
Yeah, ready to go.
Okay. And if we move along here, so the Mercedes Super 2 was another recent addition to the department.
Yes, I would say within the past year, I think we got that. It's a very, very good tool that we've really started to adopt, and we really have a lot of buy-in with our members now, a lot of knockdown capability with the Super 2.
Right, and you're running that with an 1/8" Alcar XD smoothbore.
Yep.
And that's something that they can, very maneuverable.
Absolutely. We run with four-member crews, and very maneuverable, easy to handle. You can knock down a very large volume of fire and then still continue to go interior.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you have your long line or your alley line.
Alley line, yes, sir.
Yeah. And how many feet do we have?
400 feet on that.
400 feet of Kraken 1 3/4 there. Yep. And you're running 185 at 75.
185 75s with a breakaway with an integrated 15/16 smoothbore. Not a perfect match, but it's close. We have a lot of very tight houses and tight streets. 185 50 would be a perfect match to go smoothbore versus fog, but we were experienced a lot of kinks when we got down into that 50 psi range, so we settled here with the 75s.
Yeah. Okay. Great. And if we can kind of take a look at your other attack lines here, so you're running your cross lays. And these are also Kraken 1 3/4 here. Same nozzles on there?
Same nozzles, 185 75s. We run what's called a 3-side, which is unique to Baltimore, and then a 5-side. So 3-side, 150 feet, 5-side, 250 feet, pre-connected, ready to go. Everything's color-coded. Now, your nozzles are color-coded, your hose is now color-coded. This is new for Baltimore. With the latest order that we just put in, the entire fleet will be outfitted, this way going forward.
That's a huge undertaking,
yes.
but definitely a worthwhile endeavor there. And also the soft sleeve in the running board here.
Run short shots that just in case you run a little short, 25-footers, and we run 3 of those, 1 on each side and 1 in the front bumper, just kind of ready to go.
And how about the use of the side intake here versus the rear? Is that just kind of how it works out?
It's the pump operator's preference, what they want to use. We're going to look into putting an additional large diameter intake on both sides. Currently, we run with a 6-inch to 2 3-inch gated on the other side, just in case somebody wants to run those 3-inch lines to supplement another pumper.
Sure.
But we're trying to get everybody into the utilizing the 4-inch.
The dual 4-inch.
Yep.
So then
Yep.
you can take the 2 4-inch in from multiple sides
Right.
there. And,
Yep. And we expect the pumper to have 4 intakes, front, rear, both sides, and just maximize the water that you can get at all times.
Tremendous versatility, especially with those heavy hookups and with tighter streets and everything.
That's right.
Yeah, a lot of versatility there.
Yep.
And then if we move up to the front bumper here, we'll take a look at that 4th intake there.
Use this.
So again, a Mercedes Megaflow, and that's 25 feet.
It's another 25-footer. It just the pump operator can pull that out. If he's covering a plug right from the front, supplement into the Oasis, or if the lead comes up where you're within that 25 feet, then it's ready to go.
Right. Absolutely, and very quick deployment there.
Just ready, at all times, ready to go.
Yeah. Okay. And then I know that you guys end up running the bumper line a lot here.
Right. So we're carrying it's spec to run 150 feet here. Packed in. Different companies will pack it different ways. This is their modified load. So donut roll with the pipe. The pipe man takes that. We call a nozzle a pipe in Baltimore. A pipe man will take the donut roll, head out, and grab these 2 things and spill them on the ground, and then pretty much ready to go. A lot of our streets we either stop short or stop long, so that depends on which one you take. It's spec'd in so that we have no friction loss between this and a crosslay. Yeah. With the piping coming up.
Yeah, so especially with getting the truck companies in, it gives them
a
options.
lot of tight streets. You listen to the dispatch and try to anticipate which direction the ladder truck's going to come from, so they can get to the front of the building. So then this is just another tool in the toolbox. And it can go, total flow, same flow, 185/75.
Right. Excellent. So, and we'll take a quick look around the side here. Here's the additional intake you were mentioning that you would look at running that with 4-inch in the future.
Yeah, we'd like to get a 4-inch, another large diameter on this side and kind of phase out the old 3-inch, especially since we have the auxiliary over there.
Excellent. And then above the fenders here, I know you were explaining that here's our Kraken 2-inch, which is kind of the legacy design, and with the transition to the Super 2 off the rear, that's eventually the plan, is to replace these with the same line.
Yes, this is a goal for us, is to replace this with the Super 2 going forward. That way we can, just for ease of remembering friction losses and flows. So with this one, we run it with a 1 1/16 inch tip. We were getting a lot of nozzle whip with the 1 1/8, so it was a great trade-off to put the 1 1/16 on this.
Sure.
These are 75-footers. We run 3 75-footers as our high-rise equipment.
Yeah, okay, and really important to match that nozzle with the hose. And
yeah, absolutely. We did a lot of testing to get the exact, make it as maneuverable and easy and effective for the members. A lot of thought and flowing went into it with Mercedes and Elkhart.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great to see the progression over time, and something that's not just static. You're despite being an old city, you're continuing to innovate and find things that are going to work really well for your application there. So, Chief, I really appreciate your time.
Thanks.
Thanks for walking us through.
Appreciate it.